Welcome back. This is the Alchemist Nation podcast. My name is Walter Amarillo, and I get to travel all across the country talking about real estate with real estate investors and professionals who are the best at what they do. Today, I'm hanging out with my buddy Marlon, who is a credit repair specialist and an investor in Massachusetts, and he also is a real estate agent. So, Marlon, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Welcome to the show.
Definitely. Hey, thank you, man. It's an honor to be here in the show. This amazing show and just to talk to the people, and see how we can be of help, right? That's what it's about, collaborating and bringing value. So it's an honor, man. It's an honor to be here, man. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely, Marlon. So it was funny. We were just talking before the show and you were mentioning, add value, add value, add value. It seems like such a tagline in our business, but it really is the
Yes.
truth, right? You got to add value to make money. Like if that which does not add value is removed. And so like, we're constantly like, dude, how do I add value? I want to stay in the game.
Yeah.
So,
So true.
so what are some of the things that you would say you've done to add value? Like, and we're going to go back. I want to go back to the beginning of your story. Like, how'd you get into real estate? How'd you get into credit repair? But before we do it, like a quick tip, like what do you use to add value like daily?
I will say, man, it start with us, right? Because you can't add value if you can add value yourself. So I believe I started adding value since I invested in myself. Because sometimes you gotta like separate, even you know what I mean? Like, okay, people and yourself. So you gotta like, in order to help, you can't give something you don't have, right? So by investing in myself, reading books, reading the Word, and also I'm a fan of reading my Bible and all of that. So, by investing in myself, reading books, and getting myself better, right, in a better situation, then I'm able to, help others with my knowledge. Sometimes also we think that we have to be perfect or we have to have a master degree. You know what I mean? In order to actually help others. No, right now we're in the information age, right? You can just go on YouTube, learn a skill, and then with that, put it into practice, implement it. And then if it works, you go ahead with that information, help others. That's all
Yeah.
it is. So I would say that it was just investing in myself first.
Yeah.
That's how I'm able to add value.
I love that. So you become more valuable. So like
Yeah.
you see a need, you say, you know what, I'm going to become more valuable. This way, when somebody needs it, I've got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's how it
That's
is.
awesome. And that explains why you learned credit repair. That explains why you got your real
Yes.
estate license. So let's go back. So how did you get into real estate in the first place? What made you think I'm going to eventually buy this stuff?
Definitely. So I get into real estate. It was actually because of my credit repair business, right? Most of our clients, they're looking into buy a home. They call it here in America the American dream. Everybody wanna, own their piece of real estate, and it's great, right? So most of our clients come to us. They're having some issues, right, with credit challenges and stuff. So, and their goal, right, is to buy a house. So I was like, okay, over like 80% of our clients want to buy houses. And then I was just referring them to other agents instead of then I was like, wait a minute, they local people, they need help. They also want to, like I say, buy a house. Why I just don't get my license and complete the whole, transaction, help them throughout the whole process, right? And being honest, that's how I got into real estate. I was like, okay, it was just through my credit card business push me into, and also, the desire of helping, right? Because I was like, I want to help these people accomplish their goals, because in reality, credit is just the first step. You can have a good credit, but if the goal is their desire is the home,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, let me just get my license. So I put my effort, and get my license. Now I'm able to help those people transition into bad credit to good credit to owning a home and building, having a home, building generational wealth and things like that.
I like that. So you did a principle I learned from Tom Caffarella, one of my coaches early on. He said, well, he actually has on his wall, it says, the person who makes more per customer is able to afford the marketing to get the next customer, right? They can beat the competition in marketing. So like you
Of
just took
course.
somebody you were already working with, and then you looked for a way to add more value. right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Like that's essentially what it was. So Marlon, how did you get into investing? So obviously, like I know you own a multifamily and you're doing flips right now in Tewksbury, I think you said?
In Tingsboro,
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 Tingsboro.
Mass.
So how'd you get into real estate investing yourself?
So into the investing. I've been a fan of real estate, but real estate sometimes can be scary. You're like, oh, how am I going to approach this? So to be honest, I actually just took the leap of faith. I started with myself. Everything that I do, I try to put it in practice myself instead of like just going ahead and putting others into that situation. So I was like, okay, let me start myself with a multifamily. Get myself going on what is it to be a landlord, right? What is it to deal with tenants? What is it to collect rent, fix stuff, right? You want to get yourself into that so you can learn. So I started, like I said, buying my first multifamily in Lowell. My wife and I and my family. I have two daughters. And yeah, I bought my multifamily, 2 units, but live in one, rent the other. With that experience, I learned a lot. And then actually from my church, my partner and I, my brother in church, we decided to just, we just been talking about it, right? We've been talking about it for like a year, and we're like, man, like just watching videos, but to be honest, we were just like what do they call analysis by paralysis, where you just analyze too much, you
Yep.
just think too much, but never do. So I was like, man, we got to just do it. We just got to do it because you can never wait until being perfect in order to take action, right? So I was like, okay, let's go. We started, reaching out to those signs that you see like in the street. Oh, we buy houses. They're usually wholesalers, people that wholesale. For those that don't know, it's people that just put a house in their agreement and fill up the contract. They don't really buy the house. They just sell it to a cash buyer. So we started reaching out to some wholesalers. We came across with this guy actually from Facebook, and he was the one that say, "Hey, I see you guys, wanted to invest in real estate. So you guys are cash buyers. I have this deal in Tingsboro that before I put it in the market, in Facebook and all of that, I wanted to see if you guys interested." I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and look at the house. So we went to see the house, and it was a good deal. The numbers made sense, and we just go ahead and do our thing, man. Like, we talk to the hard money, we get the financing through there, and buy the property. So it was just a matter of how I got into it. It was just a matter of reading, and I was already a fan of it.
Yeah.
So
You already liked real estate. You're already a fan
yeah,
of it, and you just dove deeper in as you stayed in credit repair, got your license, and then you bought a multifamily, and then like you and your brother just analysis paralysis for
yeah,
months, for years, and said, okay, finally we got to dive into this. Um, what was the piece that got you over that? Because I know I do a lot of mentoring, I do a lot of coaching, and we have analysis paralysis is our biggest enemy, especially if somebody comes to us from bigger
yes.
pockets, right? Like we're just constantly fighting, like, okay, you've got a lot of information. It's time to go practically apply it. What was it that got you over that?
That got you to it was just like, to be honest, it's like just taking the leap of faith, like, also your why, man. Your why has to be strong, because if you don't have a strong why, you would just like stay in there, stay still and never move, right? I
You know,
think like, and when it comes to my why, man, I just wanna, do better for my family, do better for myself, do better for my church. I have a big vision, so it was just, man, we just gotta do it. To be honest, that's it. Just taking that leap of faith, because if you think about it, what's the worst that can happen? Like I'm the one that um also what helped me too into getting into the investing part. I was already a business owner, like I was already a business owner. It's a little bit different when you're already used to like take risks. It's a little bit different than from someone that never owned a business, never have taken risks, doesn't know about investing. It's a little bit different
yeah,
from people to actually take that leap of faith, because in real estate, man, you got to know what you're doing. It's a lot of money is involved in there. A lot of people involved, especially in the flipping business, man. Like You got to deal with contracts, you got to deal with contract, got to deal with the city, got to deal with the state. So it's a lot of things that goes into it. So you got definitely got to know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
but for me, we'll just be honest, just taking the leap of faith and taking the risk.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to it where at some point you just say to yourself, I just got to do it.
Yeah.
I've just got to play the game. Let me just go either be great at it or fail, but I've got to learn so that I can get better at it. And you and your brother finally took that move. And I give that advice to a lot of our students, test it out on small things and then but just go swing. Don't just stand at the plate and watch the ball go by. You got to swing. You've got to take a whack at it.
Yes.
If you strike out, you can go back in, just sit on the bench for a little while, but you can always get back into the game. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
awesome. So I want to dive back because you are a credit repair specialist, and
Mhm.
a lot of people have been asking me. This is the other question I get. I'm also a licensed realtor and do a lot of coaching for real estate investors over the years, and they always ask, "Well, what if I have bad credit?" I haven't really used too much of my credit to do a lot of my initial purchases because I use a lot of hard money and private money lending, but occasionally, we do a refinance or we go and we purchase a big property and we just all the things line up and the property's already in great shape, but we bought it at a value
Yeah.
add. And so we do go traditional lending. And so occasionally we do need our credit. What is maybe three pieces of advice for getting somebody's credit repaired so that they can buy that first FHA house or VA loan or USDA loan or even conventional, if they're going to the bank for their first property, owner occupied, what loan requirements are on the credit side?
First thing first is knowing where you're standing, right? I always say that when I do a credit consultation, it's knowing where you are right now in terms of your, when it comes to your credit scoring and your credit report. So I always say to the people that I consultation with is review your reports, review your reports, get familiarized with the information that in your credit report, so that way you know what's affecting you, right? So first thing is I would say three tips is getting a copy of your credit report, analyzing it, look for any information that is not accurate, right? And make sure that having open accounts, I would say that as a second tip, make sure that you have some open accounts. What I mean by open accounts, like credit cards and things like that. And also just make sure that you lower the balances. If you go over 30% of your credit card balances, that's one of the factor when it comes to your FICO scoring. Usually your score is going to start dropping. So if you got open accounts, just make sure that you have it. My ideal recommendation is between 7 to 10%. If you have it less than that, even better. The less balances that you have on your credit cards, the better, because it helps you with two things. It helps you with increasing your scores because, like I mentioned before, 30% if your 30% of your credit is credit utilization, and it's going to help you with your debt to income ratio. You're already familiar with your debt to income ratio, so the more debt that you have, the less money you can qualify for when it comes to traditional banking, traditional mortgages. So I would say those three tips: review your credit reports, have open accounts, and keep your balances down with your credit cards.
That's huge. That's huge. I love that, Marlon. So those three pieces are probably the most important parts when it comes to credit. How does somebody go and find out what their credit looks like? How does I guess they'd reach out to somebody like you, right? Is that usually what you tell somebody?
Yeah, they can reach out to me, but hey, I'm a fan of giving a free information. I have a whole webinar just teaching people on the FICO, for free. People can just watch it. That also on my social medias, I share a lot of tips, so I don't mind. So they can go to annual credit report, right? Annualcreditreport.com. That's a website that is I say that word by the federal government. The federal government backed that up, and you can get a copy of your credit report for free there. Now, because of this pandemic going on, they actually you can get it for free every week until April of this year, actually 2021. You can get a new copy every single week for free. The only downside with annual credit report is that you don't see their scores. They only give you the report, all the information, personal information, account history, inquiries, public records, but you don't have the score. If you want the score, you know, You got to, I think it's pay $8 or $9 per score. There's three credit reporting agencies. You got TransUnion, you got Equifax, and you got Experian. So that's one way to get it. There are also companies like FICO.com, myFICO.com. You can get it through there, but there's a small fee associated with it. And also other companies that you can get it, like SmartCredit.com, Identity IQ. Those are credit monitoring providers.
Awesome, Marlon. So much value add early on into this show. So where do you see yourself going and taking your business? What are you focusing on 2021 right now?
2021, man, our vision is to help at least 2,000 people with our services, right? When it comes to credit, in order to use their credit to build wealth, right? We believe in having credit to use it for your benefit, not to harm yourself, right? So
Absolutely.
I teach our clients a lot on using your credit to create opportunities, to create income, right? You don't want to use your credit to fund your lifestyle. What I mean by that is to use your credit, go to the mall and spend it all in clothing that you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to bring any income to you. So I'm a believer of using it, because it can be a powerful tool as long as you know how to use it, right? And that's why we're here. We got to teach people that. So it's at least, that's one of our vision, at least helping, 2,000 people, build credit, understand that, and use it to build wealth.
I love that. It's hit SMART goals, right? So it's
Yeah.
strategic, specific, measurable,
attainable.
Realistic, and then time sensitive. So it's got a time
Yeah.
base to it. So you've done a lot of personal development. That's what I like about you, Marlon. Like, as you've been talking, it's read books, focus up here, get mentors or coaches, like figure out like how to get this right so that you can
Yes.
get to the next level. You came in repairing credit, then you got your license, then you started investing in real estate as a landlord, then you started flipping real estate. And now you're obviously marketing yourself, and you set really big goals, like building your business up to the point where you're working with 2,000 people. It's a bigger goal than what you did last year. So it's a stretch, right? So you're getting to that
Yes.
next level. Marlon, I really love this whole conversation, the way it's going. So value add is definitely who you are, right? So how does somebody get in touch with you if they want to find out more about you, or they like to get their credit together, or they're looking to shop for properties in Boston? What is the easiest way for somebody to reach out to you?
They can reach out. They can send me a text on my word number, which is 617 992 1870, 617 992 1870. They can look, if they're in social media, they can find me on Facebook as Marlon Del Villar. That's my full name. And on Instagram as Marlon Credit. Just like that, they have the username is Marlon Credit. They can find me there as well.
Wow, you got Marlon Credit on Instagram, huh?
Yeah. That's the page that I mostly use for everything, credit and real estate, everything.
Awesome. Before we get into the next section, I've got to ask the people who are listening right now, if you can go to iTunes and rank up Alchemist Nation podcast, go and add us and add a review so that people see the podcast. I've been told by a lot of other podcasters that if I can get my reviews up to over 100, I can start getting better quality guests on the show. So aiming for Grant Cardone. I saw my buddy Ryan Snow just had Grant on his podcast. So I'm looking for Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Ty Lopez. So if we can get the reviews up on Alchemist Nation podcast on iTunes, iTunes is where they count all the reviews. That's the place where everything matters. So go to iTunes. If you can't do it on your iPhone, you've got to go to the desktop version. For whatever reason, iTunes does not let you write reviews on the phone itself. You got to go be at a desktop. So please write a review, make it positive so that we can help more people and get this mission expanded. Marlon's looking to help 2,000 people in 2021. I'm looking to put 1,000 people through my mentorship. So Marlon, maybe we can work together as I bring them through, or as you're bringing them through
Oh, of
credit, I can
course,
help
man.
them get through the rest.
Of
And
course, yeah, because what I've been seeing is that your goal is to, help people through real estate, right? Real estate, build generational wealth and becoming financial free, right?
that's it.
From real estate. But I tell you one thing that um even though real estate has so many, ways you can do it, like you say, hard money, private money, you don't really need the credit. But having credit is a plus.
It
I
helps a
tell
lot.
people, hey man, I tell you by personal experience right now, even with this deal I'm working with, we have the hard money, but I still need some to use some of my credit to
You need
fund
your
some of
credit just to get out of the hard money, right? That's what we're doing
exactly.
right now. We're using our credit for the refinance. Like,
Mhm.
you can do the deal, but how long do you want to stay in 12% interest, you know?
Exactly. So having credit is definitely a plus when it comes to building that real estate empire that you want. So
It goes a long way. It's really what matters most. So Marlo, we're at the last question of the day. What is, if you go back to your 20-year-old self, just starting out getting into this business, what is the three piece of advice that you would give a 20-year-old looking to get into real estate or looking to build their wealth? What three piece of advice do you think that was given to you or that you would pass on to yourself if you could start over?
I think that's a great question, man. That's a great question. So I would say first thing is investing in yourself. Like that's I can't stress that enough. I can say that enough because if like I said before, if you don't add value to yourself, you won't be able to help others. So you investing in yourself. And I know it sounds like, okay, what is it? How do I do it? Right. So how do you do it? Read some books on finances. I recommend like Robert Kiyosaki. He's great when it comes to personal finance. Go ahead and do some Grant Cardone too. You can also go ahead and read Proverbs in the Bible. Proverbs is, yes, man, I learned so much from Proverbs. Some biblical principles too definitely help you along the way. So just start with books. Right now, this is the best time to actually, like invest in yourself. So many tools out there, free tools. Myself, I use Audible. I only pay like 15 a month and you can get one credit, and you can buy any book, listen to it. If a reader, I understand some people just don't like to read. They sit down and read and they fall asleep. Hey, I understand that if you that type of guy or girl, go ahead and listen to it, like you're still learning, right? So that's one thing, invest in yourself. Second is, start a business if you can, what I mean, start a business, get yourself like out of like from the employee to being a business owner. So because you get more benefits, right? You get more benefits when it comes to like taxes and stuff. So if you're passionate about something, like if it's in real estate, go ahead and get your license. And start a business. I would say start a business slash learn sales
Yeah.
because sales gonna in particular, sales is a skill that's always gonna be on demand, especially now. You never know right now with this uncertainty what can happen, but I guarantee you one thing, that any company, if you're a good sales rep, good salesperson, any company will hire you no matter what. Why?
Yeah.
Because salespeople is the one that drive the nation, drive the company. If there is no sales in a company, this company is going to be dead.
100%, man.
So I
I
would say
absolutely agree with
invest
you.
in yourself, learn sales, and if while you learn in sales, I give you some tips too. It's like Grant Cardone is a huge in sales. He got some great sales book. Brian Tracy, is very good as well when it comes to sales. Read some of the books. And yeah, so get your license if you want to do real estate. And the third is learn some, invest, knowing yourself, but I mean, invest your money, learn how to grow your money. I think that's huge too.
Absolutely. That is great advice. So invest in yourself. What was the second one? It was
Invest in yourself, like learn sales or start a
Learn
business.
sales and then start a business. Learn sales, start a business.
Yeah,
Invest. Phenomenal advice, Marlon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Again, if you want to reach out to Marlon, he dropped his cell phone earlier. Marlon, can you drop it again one more time? Just shoot him a text.
definitely. They can send me a text 617-992-1870, 617-992-1870.
Or you can find him on Instagram. He's Marlon Credit,
Marlon Credit on Instagram.
or Facebook, Marlon Del Villar. So Marlon, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You are an alchemist. You have the alchemist abundance mindset, looking to give back, turning people into gold. I appreciate you so much. Cheers to your success, my friend.
Hey, man, thank you so much for the invitation, man. We'll keep in touch.
Absolutely, brother.